Hello fellow Sudokans, and welcome to another edition of Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle. Another supplementary video featuring the New York Times hard puzzle for today. I'm not going to explain the rules because you should know the rules if you're attempting to play the New York Times hard puzzle. So that's all I'm going to say. So look up the rules somewhere else. I'm going to get stuck in straight away without any further delay. I don't play these games before starting the video, so I'm looking at the grid right now for the first time, and what I see immediately is this 4 here and this 4 here. So leading up this column, this 4 leading up this column, so blocking these 2 squares and these 3 squares, so leaving just one other place where a 4 can go. I can place it there. Okay, I see a 3 here and a 3 here, so the 3 blocking down this column, 3 blocking up this column here, and so that's got to be a 3 right there. Now this 3 here blocks up this column here, and this 3 blocks this row here, so 3 is going to appear in one of these 2 squares. Okay, but we see that actually this, actually we can do better than that. Okay, sorry, I missed it. This 3 blocks up this column, this 3 blocks across here, this is going to be a 3 here. Okay, and then so 3 blocking here, 3 blocking here, 3 blocking here is going to give us a 3 there. And when we bring this one down, which is what I planned to do anyway, bring this 3 down here, this 3 down here, and this 3 blocking across here, that will give us a 3 there. I think we've only got one more to get, so remember, if you've only got one more digit to get, you can always get it. And you know, we always have enough intersecting numbers to get it. So 3 blocking up here, 3 blocking across here, down there. So the last 3 has to be there. Right, so we'll put 3's out of our head and get on with something else. What shall it be? Seen something. We have an 8 here, which blocks across here, and we have an 8 here, which blocks across here, and we have an 8 in this column here. So these rows are out, these 2 rows are out, this column is out. That's the only place where we can put an 8. You know, doing on the screen here has some advantage. I mean, it's a bit easier to see that this 8 blocks across here and this 8 blocks down here. So we can put an 8 here as well. I'm going to start writing it. I mean, I nearly always need pencil marks for this kind of puzzle, so I'm going to put some in. I'm particularly enamored of this 7 across here, because that means we limit ourselves to this column here for 7. So I'm going to put in a pair of 7s like this. I think it might be useful. I'm also going to, actually, since I'm doing candidates, why not continue? So I see 9 blocking across here, 9 blocking across here. So we'll put a pair of 9s in here. Looking at 9, actually I can fill in a 9 already. Look, 9 blocking down here, 9 blocking up here. So that's an actual 9 that we can place. It will give us a pair of 9 candidates here and here, by the way. Also 9 blocking down here, 9 blocking down here, and this 9 blocking this square, so we can also fill in a pair of 9 candidates in those squares there. 8 blocking across here, 8 blocking across here. That's going to give me 8 in these two squares. Okay, so also I can place a 5. Look, there's 5 blocks down here, and there's 5 blocks this square, so that's got to be a 5 there. The missing numbers here are 1 and 7. I don't think we've got any. I don't think we've got enough information to know which is which yet. So I'll just put 1 and 7 like this. Oops. Pressing the wrong keys is a real problem for me. Let's put a pair of 4s in. 4 blocking here, 4 blocking here. And so 4 can appear in one of these two squares. There's 4 blocks along here, and there's 4 blocks down this column, so 4 has to be either here or here. This 5, bring it down this column here, and 5 down this column here will give us 5 in these two squares. Uh, 6 across here. It looks very random, I know. It is very random because I'm doing it in a kind of random way at this stage, but 5 blocks across here as well. So 5 has to be in these two squares, 5 and 6, which is great because that now limits us to the remaining two numbers here, which are 1 and 2. I don't think we've got any intersecting 1s or 2s, or 5s or 6s that will give us any information, but that's good. At least blocks 2 along here now. I didn't see that before. 2 blocking along here, so 2 has to be in these two squares anyway. That will limit us to 2 along here, but can't tell anything else just yet. How about this 1? No. Okay, this looks nice. 6 blocking across here. 6 blocks across this row here. 6 blocks down column 3 here. So that will give us a pair of 6s here and here. And we continue that down, blocking down here. There's 6 blocking down here and 6 blocking across the middle. So we know 6 is in one of those two squares. The 7 now blocks up this column, giving us a 7 here or here, and then continue blocking upwards here, and the 7 blocking up here, and the 7 blocking across the middle. So 7 is limited to those squares there. If you're new to this channel and you're expecting it to be done very quickly without any interruptions or thinking, sorry, you're on the wrong channel. I'm playing this game live, one-off, without any rehearsals or anything like that, and so sometimes there are some long delays while I think and look. I must be able to know what's the missing numbers in these two squares. I'm not sure if it's going to help, but I can work it out. It's got to be a 4, hasn't it? Because we've got 1 and 2 here, so we've got 7, and there's one other number missing in this row. It's going to be a 4. If I put in candidate 4 like this, it's not really going to help, though. I know it's a 4 or 7, but it's not going to help. Now, the trouble, if I do this, You know, one reason I don't like doing Snyder so much, I'll sometimes do it, but I have to be a bit careful, because if you stick to Snyder, sometimes it's not enough, and then when it comes to filling in the rest of the candidates, it can get a bit confusing or miss stuff or something like that. Okay, I see there's 6 blocking up here, 6 blocking across here, so 6 is limited to this square or this square. The 5 that blocks across here and the 5 that blocks across here will give us 5 as possible here. Clearly you'll notice I'm looking for pairs as opposed to just all the candidates. I mean, it's really useful if you can find pairs. It gives you all kinds of insights, or rather you can certainly find patterns much more easily if you can find pairs. When you have lots of candidates, sometimes it can be a bit tricky to see. When you have a lot of candidates, it's just sometimes really difficult. But then again, very often you need to have all candidates, otherwise you can't see the pattern. Unless, of course, you're one of these people who just play the game without any candidates, and there are people who do that, and good luck to them. But I'm not really one of them. Well, I'm going to have to be a bit more methodical about this, I guess, since I'm not getting very far. I'm going to have to check and see if I've got all of the pairs that I can get. So I'm going to just go through them. So 1 blocks up here, so that's 3 squares there. 1 here, 4 squares available down here. 1 down here, 4 squares available. Here we don't know enough. We have 1 or 2. No, we don't have enough. Right, okay, so how about 2s? Have I placed any 2s yet? No, I haven't, so I can't highlight 2, but anyway, 2 is here, here. 2 is going to be in these 3 squares here, but that's all we can say. Down here. 2 blocks across here, but that gives us 4 possible squares across here. 4. No, can't do anything else on 2s. How about 3s? Let's highlight 3s. 3s are done already, aren't they? 4s. 4s. Remember, this is not the totality. This is just 4 or 7 limited to this top row. But I have to be a bit careful. That's not complete candidate filling. Okay, nothing else. 5s. Oops, there. No, I don't see anything else. 6s. 6s are here. Down here, 6. 6 blocking down here, 6. No, nothing else I can do about 6s in terms of pairs. 7s. 7 blocking down here. 7. No. 7s there, 7s, 7s. No, nothing else. 8s. Okay, I can fill in a pair of 8 candidates down here. Let's highlight them up again. 8s across here, 8 down. 8s are in 3 squares down here. That's about it. I think 9s. Pair here, pair there. Oh dear. Okay, I think that's about it. So I'm going to have to go further and start filling in other candidates. I'm going to start along with this middle shooter. I think that might be the most promising area. So we've got 1 and 7 here already. So 1 we have, let's do this block here. 1 we have, 2s can go anywhere, unfortunately. 2s, of course not this square, of course. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How thick am I? How thick am I? There's a solo 6 here, a solitary 6. Let's just check. 1. I want to double check, make sure I haven't made any mistakes here. It can't be a 1, it can't be a 2 because this can't be a 3, it can't be a 4, it can't be a 5. It could be a 6. Can it be a 7? No, because it's down here. Not an 8. Could it be a 9? No, there's a 9 here. So in fact, yeah, double checked. That is in fact a 6. Now if we had 6 as a pair over here, that's got to be our 6, hasn't it? So let's get rid of that candidate 6 there. Now we had 6 up here now as a pair of 5 or 6, so clearly that's our 5 and that's our 6 now. This 6 blocks along here, 6 blocks along here. This square here is going to be a 6, and I'm overwriting a 7. 6, sorry. I'm overwriting a 7, so the 7 goes in here. Now remember, we can place this 4 because we had a pair of 4 or 7 along this top row, so that's useful. Okay. Right. Now, what have I done that I need to change? Okay. All right, let's get back to our candidate filling, which is I'm now going to change locations. Right, we're going to come over here. Did I? Oh, I know I didn't do. Get rid of 6 there. That's it. I knew there was something I had to do. Right. And at this point, I have to explain and introduce myself. It's the same voice you're saying. Yes, it is the same voice. It is the same person, but me from a later time. Because at this point while making the video, somehow or another the microphone crashed or stopped working and no audio was recorded past this point, but it kept recording the video, and I didn't really want to start again, so I thought I should try to add an overdub to what I was doing before. Now I have absolutely no idea what I was thinking at the time. It's like an hour ago or something already, and I really, I record these videos live and I say what I'm thinking at the time, my ideas, but trying to do this after the time is really difficult. What I think I'm pointing out here is a unique rectangle, the 1 and 2. I wish I could move the cursor to tell you again, but I can't. But anyway, in the first row you'll see 1 and 2 in column 7 and 9, and in the last row, bottom row, row 9, you'll see 1 and 2 there. So that means that, yeah, there it is. We definitely have a unique rectangle. Okay, now what was I doing? Oh yeah, this has to be a 7, right? Because you'll see 7s intersect in the other squares in this row. So that now it has to be a 2 or a 9, I think, because there's 2 or 9 missing at that pair. But look, there's a 9 actually in this block already, so clearly that's going to have to be a 2, and the 9 will be at this end. Right, so far that's what I was doing. And what I did next, I have no idea. Well, 2, 4, yeah, and I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking there, but clearly I was just looking for numbers. And what came next is anybody's guess. 5s, 7, 5. Okay, so I was putting in 1s as the last digit in that block. The last candidate, sorry, in that block. And what did I do next? It's so frustrating watching this as a viewer. I don't know how you watch these videos. I quite like making them. I don't like watching them. 1. Okay, so 1 is limited to this central row. Okay, blocked in the central row, I should say. So 1 has to be either here or here in row 3, right? And in fact, that 7 must stand because that's the only possibility of a place, because we have 7s blocked from beneath. All right, so now the missing number in this row is 2, I think. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. And oh yeah, we can place a 2 in the central column in that chute because we have 2 limited to the left and right columns. So in the last block in that chute, we must put 2 in the central column. So I filled it in, even though it's not a pair, it's 3 numbers. Now back here, what's missing? The missing number is 5, and we've got an intersecting 5 here. So 5 blocks that square, and so 5's got to appear there, and 9 is our last square there. It's also going to give us a 9 in the central column, okay, down in the last block. In those 2 squares, we have a 9 in row 9, so blocking there. So that's 2, 6, and 9 in those 3 squares, which is nice because it means that, remember, we don't have to look for the other numbers in those squares. So everything that's missing, we can look in the other squares. So for example, this 5 blocks down this column, so 5 can only appear in these 2 squares now. I don't know where I look next. I don't know how long I took, but come on, get on with it. I'm waiting for the mouse movement, right? And when I see the mouse, I might have an idea of what on earth I was doing. Until I see that, I have no idea. I could, of course, have edited this and, you know, cut all this stuff out and just done the active parts, but it doesn't give you enough time to look at the screen maybe sometimes. And also, I really wanted to do this as a kind of it's a live video, you know, I mean a one-take video. Although, of course, I'm doing an overdub here, which means not a take, not a one-dub. Not a one take. Okay, a pair of 7s can fit there. Those are the only places in that block where 7s can appear as pencil marks. Then what? Come on, get on with it. I hope you appreciate the amateurness of today's presentation. Worse than ever. But I don't mind keeping the errors in. Okay, we've got 6 limited to those 2 squares. Yeah, of course, we've got 6 in the top in block 2 and block 5 blocking down, so, and then there's a 1 in row 8, 6 in row 8, so limited the 6 to those 2 squares. I think I'm going to talk about this unique rectangle now. I think this was the point where I was talking about the unique rectangle. I hope you see these 1s and 2s. They're very important because it means that row 9, column 7 cannot be 1 or 2. It can be anything else, but it can't be 1 or 2. So what I decided to do was, when filling in the candidates, I would not put 1 or 2 into that square. I think that's the next step. This square, yeah, that's the one there, right? That cannot be 1 or 2. So it can be anything else, but it can't be 1 or 2 because we have, there you see it, the unique rectangle. That's it. Thank you for pointing that out for me, my assistant. It's actually going to be a 5 or an 8. But in the meantime, I'm going to put in the rest of the candidates for this block. Come on. Okay, there we go. So 1s are available in those squares. 2s block down the central column, and a 2's okay there as well. So remember, 1 and 2 not available in the particular square. 5s can go there, and the last number is 8, I believe, which can go in these squares. Right. Okay, that looks good. No idea what I'm looking at next, but I was clearly thinking, checking for errors, checking for mistakes at this point. So that's what I normally do, because I can certainly make them. Hello, cursor's moving. Well, okay, so I started filling in the rest of the candidates here now. So 1 can go anywhere. The last number is 4, I believe. Yeah, 4. 4 is blocked along that row. So 4 can come in 3 locations. Okay. Back over here now. 1 can go anywhere. Should I start with 1? I do. 2 is blocking down that column there. And that's it, I think. Okay, 3 we have, 4 we have already, 5 we have already, 6 we have already, 7 we have already. Actually, the next number to look for is 8. There's an 8 blocking down. 8 is restricted to the central column here now. Okay, there. Yeah, 8 blocking down. Okay. Just realized I moved that mouse pretty fast. I'll try to remember to move the mouse more slowly in future. 9, of course, we already have. Now, at this point, dear viewer, you should be looking for a naked pair. It took me a little while to find. You'll see I shall tick tock while I'm looking for it. But if you hurry, you can beat me to it. There's a naked pair. Find it, find it. There it is. 1, 5. Okay, so if you see 1 and 5 in this row, a naked pair, a matching pair if you prefer to call them that, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, it's 2 numbers in 2 squares only. And so that means we can remove any 1s or 5s. So 1 gone there, 1 gone there, 1 and 5 gone from this cell. And when we remove 1 and 5 from this cell, that will leave us with an 8. So we can actually place our 8. And now we're into the home stretch. And so some of this activity might get a bit fast here. 5 is the only place a 5 can go there. Now we remove that 5 and we will have a 5 here. And there's 1 square left. We've got an 8 already, so that's a 1 clearly. We've got 1 and 5 already in this block, so that has to be a 7, doesn't it? Okay, the last number there is an 8. Okay, we've got a 1 in this row already, so that's got to be a 7. That's a 1 clearly. Okay, up here we've got a 1, so that's a 2. And at this point I removed the candidate 2, if I remember correctly. I did. Okay, so removing candidate 2. That leaves us with 2 in those 2 squares in that column. Where did I go next? I know where I should have gone, but anyway. I'm removing candidates still. Okay, so just removing candidates that I've actually already got. So I've got to remove that 5 there as well. Yeah, okay. So difficult to remember what I was doing. So we've got 3 numbers, 1, 2, and 9 in that block, and that appears to be correct. I'm doing a bit of error checking, making sure we haven't made any terrible mistakes up to that point. 7 blocking down there we've got already, so clearly that's got to be a 2. Now we've got 2 here, that's got to be a 9, hasn't it? Either 2 or 9, so that's clearly a 9. We've got a 2 and a 9 already, so this has to be a 6. We've got a 6 now, so that's a 7, leaving us with a pair of 1 or 5 in that row, which is okay. Down here, 6, then we've got a 1 in this column already, so the last number is going to be an 8. 8's going to be down. Okay, the 8 blocks. There's a pair of 8s there. That 8 is blocked, so 8 is down in the bottom row. The next step I think was there's, look, if you look, there's only a 4 is only available in one position in the bottom row. We don't have any other candidate 4s in the bottom row, so that's how we know that's a 4. Up here then clearly there has to be a 1, that's a 4. Back down to finish off, we've got a 1, so that's a 5. Here the last number is a 1. Okay. Last number in this row is a 1. Up here, 1 or 2, that's got to be a 2 now. This is a 1. Back down here, we've got a 2, that's a 4. Okay, this is a 2. Last number in this column is 5. Okay. What else? 6 here we've got, so this is a 2. 2 we've got, that's a 9. Last number here is a 4. Okay. Almost there. Last number in this row now is what? Oh, it's a 2. There we go. That's a 1. Up to the top is a 2. Now, this is the last number. Of course, it's a 1. If I type it in, the puzzle will finish. The game will end. So I just put it in as a candidate just to show you, first of all, and say, please subscribe to the channel. Come back and play in a more professional way when I have sound synchronized with video and I know what I'm talking about, as opposed to trying to do it with hindsight, which is much worse, and trying to follow that mouse around on the screen. I don't know how you do it, dear viewer. Anyway, hope to see you again. Thank you, and bye-bye.